And we are live again with another stream. Apologize for the delay. My sleeping schedule has been fucked, and I slept off at the wrong time. Even with respect to work, there are some things that I need to still be finishing, and that is why you don't see me on the camera right now. But I am on like this, and I will be having a few more guests coming in, including Adam, I guess. And if anyone has the urge to hop on and give their opinions out, you can definitely just check the description of this video, and you'll be able to find the link there, and just hop on. So one sec, hold on. Yeah. So big up to Jahid in the chat as well. Great game for Manchester City. Unfortunately, I was not able to do the watch along, and but I think everyone here does understand that City were dominant. Liverpool, on the other hand, played out a 1-1 draw against Brighton. Not the ideal result for them. They probably should have done a bit more, but unfortunately, they did not. And City have taken the advantage in their favor. I will give you an update on the table as well currently, and then I go into the game and describe more details about it. Hold on. Yeah, so now Liverpool at the top as it shows with 10 games played. Spurs below them, Chelsea third, Leicester City. Manchester City put a dominating final, so they have jumped from the bottom half to the top half. They are now in 8th place with 15 points. That looks good. Good things happening for Manchester City. They are moving in the right direction. And in that sense, I think everything worked out well for them. Now, with respect to Manchester City and from an FPL point of view as well, Mahrez scored a hat trick for them. Benjamin Mendy one goal, Ferran Torres the last. That is the not the last in that sense, but Mahrez got the last, which completed his hat trick. But from an FPL point of view and from a point of view of if you see the the overall league and the fantasy Premier League, in that basis, on that basis, you can see that it was a good day for Mahrez, who has been in and out of the team. I don't know what is the reason that Klopp does not favor him. And last season, he wasn't even given the right kind of opportunities that a player deserves. But now he performed well, and this game was his. You can say it could be a big comeback that he must have wanted to make, and a positive one. And getting that hat trick is crazy. So Mares getting a hat trick, that was fun. And Mares had a positive game. He got a hat trick, and I have a few guests, as I said, joining in soon. So maybe Adam will be joining in, and we'll be also discussing the 10 worst signings according to us in the last decade, which is just gone by. So before that, again, as I said, Mendy getting a goal means Burnley played bad. Bad, worst. Ferran Torres got his first goal for City as well, and Mahrez got a hat trick. And Kevin De Bruyne, I think, got a couple of assists and positive play overall from City. This could be the turning point for them in this season, because they were looking up and down so far, and now Burnley giving confidence to another team. It can happen and it can work well for City, because obviously any game that you get 5 goals, you need to understand 5 goals may not seem like a lot for other clubs, but for Manchester City, that is the momentum builder. It showcases the fact that now they can regain all their momentum that they have built in this game, and possibly now they will go on and find the form that was missing from their play so far. So, good things happening there for Manchester City. Pep would be delighted with this performance. He may not be happy with the overall Results, the round of results this season, but I think this performance we can have no complaints about because it was actually a demolition, you can say a decimation of Burnley. And Sean Dyke, I think he's going to get sacked if this continues this season. But anyways, big up to all you guys who have been supporting this channel and who do tune in to the channel and who do keep watching this channel a lot. Like, thank you for your support. It's been always great to have you guys on with your opinions and talking about football and having those discussions and other things to add to that. And we have done a lot of videos, a lot of different videos, a lot of stuff going on. So, one sec. I don't know what's wrong with this Twitter thing. Twitter looks crap. I am inviting people to join into the discussion if they want to. It's their choice, and big up to everyone who watches and supports us because we have fun and we enjoy our conversations. That's the way it should be, I guess. It shouldn't matter how many people watch you, as long as you do what you have fun in doing and you just enjoy it. If that is the case, I think everything else works out and falls in place. You can always pull people from various groups, various ways, and you can get them you can get them talking. That's not a problem. The only thing is regularity. I I just put a post out today as well that because of the fact that this is something that I do as a hobby, it's not always going to get the preference, but yeah, I need to keep doing it more regularly so that the people who watch it enjoy it a bit more. I will plan it out. Right now, I don't feel the need to completely plan it out and have 20 or 15 or 20 videos in a week.
Right,
So Adam is
Nitesh,
here.
Nitesh, I'm gonna have to come off camera. I am right. I tell you why. Tell you why, right? Because I'm really
Yeah.
fucked. I don't know if you can. Can you see that? No, probably not.
No.
Basically, I've just had a puncture, so I'm. So it just shows how professional I am, Nitesh. I'm going to be
Yeah.
attempting to change my tire while still talking to you on a podcast. That's dedication for you, my son.
Yeah. I hope only your tire of the car is punctured. Nothing else.
Well, the
Yeah.
Russian girl won't be with me until an hour or two. I'm in her area, but the thing is,
Yeah.
the curfew ended over an hour ago. So I hope I'm changing my tire with no police coming past.
No, you can always say that you have a flat tire, so you couldn't get home. You're here stuck changing it.
I know, but the Russian girl lives about an hour from me
Yeah.
at the moment until Monday.
Yeah.
So I'll be struggling to explain why the hell I'm up here because I did get a fine for the other day. Anyway, going back to football, forget about it's Saturday night. Forget about my issues, my drama. Let's get on with football. But I do apologize if I swear because I can't get Poxy tire off. I wanna apologize in advance.
No worries. That's okay. That's fine. I think this is not a PG channel, so I think that is allowed here. I don't think that would be
Okay,
too much of a problem.
okay, no problem, no problem. Let's get on with it.
Yeah. So, did you see the score? Manchester City destroyed Burnley today. Final. Mahrez
Yeah,
scored
I
a hat
did.
trick.
I did. I just watched a few of the goals I did, rather than the actual game itself.
Yeah.
Um, I'm beginning to think it's Burnley's time now. Burnley have had a time in the Premiership,
Yeah.
and I think that they've done well. Bit like Bournemouth, I suppose. Last year they've done well, but I think their time is up.
Yeah. Even I was thinking the same. I think so. Sean Dyche is done. I think
Yeah,
it's time. It's time for him to get sacked. I think he'll probably go down the table now and slowly. Even though Chris Wood is back and he scored, I think in the last game, but I was expecting more from this Burnley side.
Yeah,
Um,
I think to be honest, I think Dice
yeah,
may hang on. I think Dice may uh, think that he's missed his opportunity to go higher by sticking with Burnley, because I know that the likes of Everton were looking at him at one point, and other
yeah.
teams were looking at him at one point. But in all fairness to Dice, he's stuck by his loyalty, and he's stuck by Burnley. But I think now the time is up. I think.
Yeah, see, that is the main thing now. I think some of these managers overcommit, like Eddie Howe could have moved away.
That's right.
He
Yeah.
he could have taken the Arsenal job as well when he had the chance. He could have done something more with this managerial career, but he decided to stick to Bournemouth, and then he unfortunately got kicked out of the Premier League. He got
Yeah, it's
relegated.
like clubs like that, and I would obviously include my own club Cardiff on it. It's no longevity unless it's real money being pumped in to the club. There's no longevity. I mean, Burnley have basically been uh, buying championship players,
Yeah,
good championship players, and surviving, which is something the likes of Cardiff tried to emulate, but they didn't. Fair play to Burnley, but I do think their time is up now. Because didn't they? Wasn't it a takeover? Or rumors of a takeover? An evaluation of the club is 400 million, I think, wasn't it? Wasn't it like a month or two ago?
but the thing is, I don't think that they will be taken over anytime soon. So I
Well,
don't get
I
the
mean,
feel.
if they
Yeah,
went down, the valuation of the club would drop dramatically, wouldn't it? So
definitely.
it could well be more kind of uh more of a proposition to any buyer, I suppose.
Yeah, that is the thing. So if that happens, then I think their value will go down, and then they can be easily purchased, and then they could make a return to the Premier League if the owner has more money to spend.
Yeah,
But for
yeah,
now, they
yeah.
seem like they will be going down, and even if they finish in the bottom half of the table, their evaluation will go down a bit. That seems to be the
I,
case.
I'm looking. I know
Yeah,
Fulham have picked up a couple of points lately, or a couple of good performances, but I think for the first time in a long while, I
yeah,
think that the bottom three will be adrift by good few points this year.
yeah,
I think it could the gap could be up to like 10 points do you know what I mean? I think Sheffield United, West Brom, and Fulham. I think is it Sheffield United, West Brom, or Burnley? Well, I think those four. I think there'd be a big gap between the next bunch of teams.
I don't think so.
Because
I think I disagree with that because of one simple reason. Because if you see, Sheffield United is also another team that is struggling literally.
yeah,
So they will also be in that mix, and they will also be part of that relegation battle for all we
yeah.
know.
I know. But I don't think it'll be like a relegation battle which we've seen before, where it's been up to like 5 or 6 clubs. In that, I don't think there's going to be much change throughout the season in the positions and where they are now.
No, I think it will be Fulham, it will be West Brom, it will be Sheffield, it will be Burnley. These four teams definitely.
Yeah, I think it's those 4 teams. That's it. No, I'm, and it hasn't been like that for years.
Uh, Other than that, if you think, I am guessing that another team in that battle, I'll have to think about it. It will be a
Yeah,
tough one.
but you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm talking to you live while I'm changing a bloody tyre. Oh, Jesus, you wouldn't see Gary Lineker on Match of the Day do this, would you, huh?
There's always the first time. There's always the first time. Maybe you can tag him and tell him to change a tire while he's doing so, because
I
at
know.
times he doesn't make absolutely no sense. And big up Miss Molina in the chat as well.
So, I seen that you were on that. It was a farce, to be honest. That podcast you were on last night, Nitish.
Egal's channel. No, which one? The
Ah,
first 11.
absolute farce. Yeah.
Which one? The first 11 one or the Egal channel? Or Egal's channel?
The Igao channel where that guy was giving it loads, that Liverpool fan. I'm thinking, mate,
Yeah.
you know, I know what he's saying. I know what he was trying to say regarding to the Man City fan element. But I was thinking to
Yeah.
myself, please don't go there, mate. Some of the words he was using, I was like, it's out of order. And you obviously don't know the history of your own club if you're using words like that, you
See,
know.
that is the thing. That is the thing. I don't want to get into that side of things with a fan who's just shouting in my ear.
Oh, but
And
everyone was shouting. That was a problem. That's why I called near fast because basically
yeah.
it was it was just uncontrollable. Everyone was talking. Everyone was talking at the same time, and
No, I think there was one echo issue as well going on there.
yeah, it was, and
So
no one knew where it was coming from.
yeah, yeah. No, no, we understood where it was coming from. The problem was that because of that, a lot of no information that was being passed around was not going through, and like it was becoming confusing and stuff. But
I got
at the
you.
end of at the end of the day, I think overall the guy was just ranting. He thinks he's like on AFTV or something like that, and
I
I didn't
know.
like I was literally blunt with him when I said that you are talking about the problems, your problems with Manchester City fans, but you are exactly the same fans.
I know. I know. Good news anyway, Nitish. I got the fucking tire off, mate. I got the tire off. I'm just trying to get the spare on now.
So I have a question.
Go on,
Which
fire
which
away.
takes which takes you longer to take off, the tire or the panties of the girl?
Oh, fucking hell, the panties have it's nearly taken me nearly 3 weeks, mate. I'm so. It's taken me nearly 3 weeks, so. Uh,
Yeah, with respect to this Russian girl, at least I guess you were telling me about how she was like being hard on you,
very
not
hard.
not making you hard, but being hard on you.
Yeah, very hard, my friend. Normally, in fact, normally I would have said, look, let's call it a freaking day. But the problem is a
Yeah,
big curfew going on over here, so I can't see anybody else in a bar or anything, you know. So I'm gonna have to wait until the bloody curfew is ended
yeah, but I didn't understand the fact that why was she being so, you can say in a way, bitchy.
because she's Russian.
Okay, so so now I'm getting my experience of Russian women through you.
Yeah, yeah, they're hard, mate. They're very, very hard. Ah, fucking hell. Hang on, mate. Hardest part of this job is getting a bloody tire out of the boot. I'm stressed now. I'm stressed. Anyway, anyway.
Yeah.
So, what's the latest with the Everton score?
Hold on. Again, Leeds were missing chances the last time I saw it.
Yeah.
What is the score now? It's still goalless. Almost half time.
Fucking hell. I had stuff in the boot, you see. I had stuff in the fucking boot. And I had to put that, which was above the spare tyre. Bloody hell. Who needs to go to the gym when I face this on a Saturday night?
How
I
drunk
hope the
are
people.
you?
No, I've only had one. I've only had one. I was well
Good
on my
thing.
way to having a couple.
Good thing you only had one. Otherwise, this would have been harder,
Oh,
way harder.
I know. I hope the people in the chat appreciate my dedication. I tell you.
Yeah, people who will watch the stream will definitely appreciate, because anyways, most of them must be hoping that this goalless game with Leeds brings something for them. But I don't think it's going to do anything. A lot
I
of
did.
people were saying, yeah,
Go on.
yeah.
Go on.
No,
Sorry. No, sorry.
a lot of people were expecting goals in this match, but I called it yesterday. Even though I didn't call the City game right, I was expecting that to be closer, City Burnley. But I called it with respect to Leeds that I think they don't they have not been in form this season like Wolves. And when Bamford doesn't score, they don't
Yeah.
seem to be scoring.
I got you. I got you. Uh, can I just log? I got someone ringing for a minute. Can I just log off, mate, and I'll come
Sure, sure,
back?
sure, sure. No worries. So while Adam makes his return, quick return, and I am watching this game. It's not producing anything. So as I was saying, I didn't think this was going to be that exciting because both teams are like, apart from their one single striker, if you mark that guy, it's tough for them to score generally. So, uh, hold on. Hopefully Adam comes back quickly. He's repairing the tire, and yes, as I was saying, it's kind of going to be a boring game. It's going to be goalless because of the fact I should have probably not fallen asleep at that point of time while the City game was on because that was an exciting one. So too many goals in
Yeah,
that
I'm back.
game,
I'm
but
back.
this
I'm
has been
back.
also. So Adam, the topic of discussion here
Yeah.
that we want to have right now is the worst 10 worst signings, as it says, of the last season. But
The
I will
last
go.
season, is it?
Sorry, the last decade. The last decade.
Ah, right. Okay.
And we can go on and have a discussion based on one by one. So let's start off with you. You give a name, then we have a discussion, then I give a name, then we have a
Yeah.
discussion, and we go on like that. So
Okay.
when you think of the last decade, which is the worst signing ever that comes to your mind, like out of the 10 worst signings?
Um.
Try to stick to
Well.
the
Well.
Premier League if possible.
Well. Okay. All right. No. Right. Well,
Yeah,
before
yeah.
last night, I would say Joe Linton.
Okay, big up Sankalp and Taib in the chat as well. He's saying, I hate KDB if only he scored or assisted one more. And I think he has KDB in his team. And big up to
Ah.
Taib in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
chat as
Yeah.
well.
I.
You,
Before last night, I would say Joe Linton. Uh.
uh, but is Joe Linton like the worst signing ever? I mean,
I think
I,
no, not ever. But you only gone back. You only gone back a decade. I mean,
yeah, in the decade,
if you
yeah,
went further back,
yeah,
Juan Sebastian Veron, the Man United, must be up there.
yeah, I understand.
Diego Forlan would be another one.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like out of the last decade, you think that it's
Yeah.
Joe Linton is that bad? I mean to say that in that sense.
Well, I mean, if it's top 10, it's definitely in the top 10.
Yeah.
Definitely in the top 10. Um,
Okay.
trying to think whatever. You had who was that guy? When Tottenham spent all the Bale money, what was his name? Up front, and he
Uh,
was useless
for whom?
for Tottenham. A Spanish guy, I think he was.
No, there was Lucas Moura that they got in, and
No, out of a
apart
Bale money, out of a Bale money.
the bail money,
Yeah, they
which
had Christian
player?
Eriksen, didn't they?
Yeah,
And
they had Ericsson,
they had a
Lorente,
striker. No, they
Lorente,
had a striker. They had I can't
Fernando
remember.
Lorente.
Um, let me think. Arsenal. Let me think. Arsenal. Which bad signings have Arsenal had?
Yeah,
Shamak.
Sankalp is saying Mkhitaryan for Arsenal. I think Shamak is a worst signing than Mkhitaryan. And yeah, Taib is saying Soldado.
Ah,
Soldado,
that's
yes,
it. That's it. Yeah, you got it, Taib.
yes.
You got it, my son. Sorry, my friend. I was just concentrating on his freaking tire. Yeah, Taib's got it. Soldado. He was terrible. He was
Yep.
absolutely terrible.
Jansen is another name that they're talking about.
Yes, that's another one.
How about
They absolutely spunked. They spunked the Bale money, didn't they? Apart from
yep.
Ericsson.
How about going to Chelsea? Timothy Bakayoko. Bakayoko, the best midfielder ever.
Oh, Chelsea have had a
Bakayoko.
few. Chelsea have had a few, but the problem with Chelsea is that they, some of these so-called. I mean, Fernando Torres to Chelsea was an absolute flop, wouldn't he? Um, and who was the other one? Some, people say Shevchenko, but that was way at the
Yeah.
end of his career, and so I wouldn't really count players who were at the end,
And
towards the end of their career, to be honest.
also, it wasn't even in the last decade, it was before that. And the other thing is, he was not that great, but the thing was, the expectations from him were too high.
Oh
Now,
yeah,
yeah, that was the problem. And Sankalp is saying Chamak was free, but signing in the sense you sign, not just it can be a loan deal, it can be buy, like Dennis Suarez can also make the list. It can be a free transfer as well. So any player that was
who
brought
was
in,
that?
yeah.
Colombia. I know he's again at the end of a career. Uh, that
Juan
that
Cuadrado, no,
Colombian,
he wasn't at the end of his career.
That Colombian went to United.
Ospina,
And,
no, okay,
no, he
United.
went to United, didn't he? He had so many injuries, but he went back to Monaco then, and it was he had a good few. What was his name? Falcao.
Colombian, Falcao, okay, Falcao.
There's loads, to be honest. Um, there are absolutely loads, to be honest. But if you have, like, this is what I keep on saying.
Yeah,
Alex Ferguson signed a lot of bad signings,
yeah,
but because he had the success to go along with, people forget just how bad some of his signings were. Uh, you
yeah.
know,
No, but one more thing, I can contradict that by saying Ferguson got players that he could get the best out of, like in whatever sense he wanted them to. If he wanted someone to do a job, he could get it done. A lot of people may say Fellaini was a bad United signing, one of the worst maybe in the decade. But the thing is,
well, Moyes
Fellaini,
signed
or
him, or didn't he?
yeah, and Moyes could get a job done if he wanted from Fellaini. Even he
Yeah.
did it for Mourinho, if you remember. Mourinho also used him unconventionally and got a job done from Fellaini as well. And Taib is saying, Brownie, where would you rate Momo Sissoko at Liverpool? Momo Sissoko.
Oh, I know. Liverpool, but around that time, which was the end of like end of the kind of Houllier stroke start of Rafa Benitez, that kind of era. They were,
Yeah.
they had some bad players. Andy Carroll. Andy Carroll done nothing at Liverpool. Wow, whatever's.
Lambert, Ricky Lambert. Borini.
Ricky Lambert, yeah, that's right. I mean,
Borini.
Borini, I know.
Uh,
I think it balances out as to
yeah.
how successful was that club at the time, because success uh, hides bad signings. It's been like that for years.
And I think the one player that I'm very disappointed that failed at Liverpool was Danny Ings. Danny Ings.
Yeah, injury, wouldn't it? Injury. But in all fairness, he's come back and he's doing well.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm trying to think. Arsenal, bloody bad signings.
You
Shaka,
want Arsenal bad signing?
Shaka,
No, I don't think
Mustafi.
so.
There's a story. There's a story regarding Mustafi because he was
Licksteiner.
at.
Licksteiner.
Li-
Licksteiner.
Yeah, it's a
Lick.
story regarding Mustafi because he was at Valencia, wasn't he, when Arsenal come in for him?
Yeah.
And Guy Neville was manager of Valencia at the time.
Yeah, I heard that story. You can still say it
And
again.
yeah, no worries. And Guy Neville apparently was doing an Arsenal game, I think, and he said that when Arsenal come in with such a bid, Valencia were laughing their head off because he was so bad. So
Yeah.
they took the first bid. They didn't even reject the first bid. They took the first bid, and I think he said that live on TV while watching an Arsenal game at one point.
Yeah, and that is the problem. The thing was, our club did not have the brains to sign defenders at that point of time. I don't know what they thought. Even Jenkinson becomes one of our worst signings, if you think in that sense.
Well,
And
sometimes you just got to buy squad players, haven't you?
yeah,
Just to fill the numbers up. just in case in the future. So,
Yeah.
um,
And
it.
I disagree. I disagree with Sankal's point. Yaya Sonogo greater than Shamak. No, he was crappier. But Shamak did not find his feet properly. He did not find the form that we expected him to.
Fanny Jeffers, Jesus, when he went from Everton,
Yeah.
because I do have a soft spot for Everton. When he went, I always said that Everton had the best part of that deal.
Yeah.
Um, let me think. What other ones? Fernando Torres was an awful signing for Chelsea. Um,
No,
Chelsea have had some bad
but
ones as well,
but
haven't they?
Fernando
Chelsea have
Torres
had some bad
but
ones.
Fernando Torres helped them win the Champions League and he scored some good goals for them. So I am not counting that.
Ooh.
Sankal was saying Sebastian Squillaci, which we remember. There's Kim
Yes, I
Kallstrom for
remember.
Arsenal. Kim Kallstrom was defensive signing against Sebastian Squillaci. He's saying of the decade,
what what
agreed.
what what
Yeah.
what are Arsenal fan feeling with like the likes of Murdersack and Koscielny? Because I never rated either of them, if I'm honest with you.
Nah, Mertesacker, Mertesacker was good until his last 2 years at Arsenal. He was
Okay.
good, but he was very slow. The problem was he was slow, but he had that tactical know-how and the understanding of the game.
Yeah, yeah,
Kashoni was a good defender. You can't call him a great defender or a world-class defender. He was a good defender, and
yeah,
he was captain material, and he looked good. Unfortunately, he also had a lot of injuries. If not for those
yeah,
injuries,
yeah,
he could
yeah.
have been better. He could have really been better because even for the French national side, he got picked and dropped because of those injury problems.
And I
So,
tell you, there was
yeah,
another one who
yeah.
won the World Cup with France, and I know we're going back a little bit. Stefan Gubans or something. I think he went to Newcastle. He was a night. He was crap. Um, let me think.
If you want to find that,
I tell you what.
yeah,
I tell you one of
yeah,
them could be.
yeah,
One of them could well be at this moment. Um,
yeah.
Harry bloody thing of Man United. I think he's been terrible since he gone Man United.
Who, Harry Maguire?
Uh, yeah, Maguire. I think he's been terrible since he's gone to Man United. Personally, I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know what everyone
n-
else thinks,
the thing,
especially for
the
that.
thing.
Especially for that money.
No, the thing is, I get it because you're talking about the money, but they
Yeah,
have had worse signings than Harry Maguire.
yeah. No,
If
no.
you
I know
see,
that. But
yeah, yeah,
surely, part of a bad signing has to be
yeah.
the amount that a club spends on that person. I would have thought.
No, I mean to say, he's not performed at the level that they expected him to. But
Yeah,
he's not that bad that he doesn't do anything at all. Like you could say, Marco Royo is worse than Harry Maguire. You can
yeah,
say Diego Dalot is worse than Harry Maguire based on what he has done so far. Eric
yeah.
Bailey
But not.
has,
But not. They
yeah,
didn't spend 80 million on him, or did they?
yeah. You can then say Eric Bailly is worse than Harry Maguire because he's not done even what Harry Maguire is doing right now. He's not even
Yeah.
been able to do that much. Then
I
if you
mean,
have,
some of the
yeah.
Everton signings have been bad because Everton spent a lot. They spent bloody hundreds
Alex
of
Iwobi.
millions.
Alex Iwobi.
A Warby, yeah, a Warby. I mean, some people would even say. I mean, it spent 40 million on bloody.
uh,
What's that Icelandic guy? Sigurdsson.
Sigurdsson.
Sigurdsson's been terrible since he went to Everton.
Uh,
Uh, um, uh, what
Pickford.
other
No.
Everton ones? Was that one? Fucking Theo Walcott. Uh,
Walcock.
Walcott, yeah, I know. Hey, brother, I have changed my tires, son.
Time to
But,
change
my,
your time to change your
but,
girlfriend now.
but I tell you what, I hope Ferrari, or bloody McLaren are fucking listening because it must have been done in record time, I reckon.
Taib was asking you, do you remember Clarence Acuna? What a shitty player.
Clarence Acuna. Clarence
Uh,
Acuna. That name rings a bell. Acuna. What team did he play for?
he's a former Chilean, and I will tell you where he played. He played for Newcastle.
Newcastle had some bad ones, but the problem with Newcastle. Hear me now.
Yeah,
The problem with Newcastle is that they have a spending kind of thing, but they have to be under 25
Yeah.
because they always look for resale value.
Yeah, that's how Newcastle plays. I mean, that's how what we are also trying to do. Arsenal also trying to get in some youngsters, but I think a lot of people would say maybe Danielson as well. But I don't remember when he joined Arsenal. I think he joined Arsenal not in the last decade. He joined before that, if I'm not wrong, because he spent a lot of time at Arsenal. He's really spent some good amount of time at Arsenal. When did he join? He joined Arsenal in
I got
2006,
you.
so he can't. He's not eligible. Yeah, he's not eligible. Apart from that, if you remember, who was the other one?
Andy Carroll, West Ham. West Ham spend a lot on Andy Carroll, and he
Uh,
was injured.
yeah, but I don't think he'll be there in the worst signings because he's still playing. And I don't know. What do you think about it? You think that he's one of the worst signings?
I think Andy Carroll. If you look at Andy Carroll, how much he's
Yeah,
cost clubs, right,
yeah.
and his goals record, how much he's cost clubs. I think that Jesus, hundreds of millions have been wasted on him.
I think the Liverpool move messed things up for him quite a bit. I think that changed the his entire career, and if not for that, I think he would have not been this bad. The way that things have turned out for him, I don't think he would have been this bad if not for that Liverpool move, and that clearly messed things up for him.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Whatever play? Joe Cole to Liverpool. He was a bad one.
I think worse than that, than Yossi Benayoun when he moved on. I think that was
Yeah,
more.
that's right.
That could be more
Um,
equally bad. But I think they are not from the last decade. That is the only thing. Benayoun
oh,
moving obviously was from the last decade. Joe Cole, I don't think
what they
so.
saying in the chat?
They have given all
What they
these
say?
names that I already mentioned to you. So right now, Sankalp is saying that Maguire is Mustafi 2.0, and Taib is talking about a player called Stephen Guivac. Guivac.
Yeah, he's at gosh, yeah, or something like that. It was basically France won the World Cup in '98 without having any strikers because the strikers never, and that's including Henri. None of them were scoring. So it was Zidane. It was left really Zidane and the midfield to score the goals
Yeah,
to get them through and win a World Cup. And on about Man United, on about '98 World Cup, I know you mentioned someone mentioned it
yeah,
on a podcast recently. My memory, and I'm glad it's a Saturday night now, and I'm happy because I've changed my tyre. My
yeah,
memory of that World Cup, right? That World Cup final, I was, as a football fan, I was focused on it, right?
yeah.
And my memory of the World Cup final was my then girlfriend, uh, let's just say, diverted my attention, let's say that, away from a TV screen, and
Yeah,
and so she was on top of me, going for it. But I was
yeah,
still, while she was doing it, I was still listening to the commentary on the TV screen, right? And then France scored the first goal.
yeah.
So I completely forgot what I was doing at that time, and I just shouted, "Yes!" Well, she went flying, and yeah, she didn't talk to me for days later. Because I was actually concentrating more on the game in the background than fucking her who's on top of me riding me. So
So then, did you win anything after that?
no. She basically left me after that. She basically left
Unfortunately,
me after that. But never mind.
unfortunately, you couldn't score your goals.
There you go, my friend. No. My goals are long gone. My goals are long gone. Uh, can you still hear? Can you still see me?
No, we couldn't see you. We can see the dark black square, but nothing more.
It's
But we can hear you
sorry.
definitely. No worries. Even I'm not
Yeah,
with
no.
on with
I
the
mean,
switch camera because yeah,
many
good.
teams have had some real dead players. It's just the memorable ones seem to be from teams which don't really win a lot, I suppose. Well,
So
trying
so
to
let
think.
me help you. Let me help you out a bit.
Yeah,
Tell
go on.
me your tell me your
I
three
mean,
worst
go
Arsenal
on.
signings.
Francis Jeffers,
Yeah.
Lee Chapman, which you probably wouldn't remember. Lee
Okay.
Chapman was a bad signing, but he went to Leeds and he won the league with Leeds. Um,
Yeah.
and you've had some bad goalkeepers in recent years. Richard Wright was probably bad at Arsenal.
Yeah. So that's three.
Whatever Arsenal. Yeah, but it's been more than three in my, over time in which I've
Okay, you can
watched
add a
them.
couple of more. You can add
John
a couple of
Jensen
more.
was a bad signing. John Jensen was only a signing because George Graham's pockets were full.
Okay. And the last fifth one?
Um, Eddie McGoldrick. I did like Eddie McGoldrick actually when he was at Crystal Palace, but he went to Arsenal. Yeah, and he was rubbish. There was another one from Liverpool or He came from Millwall, went to Liverpool, and then he went back to Arsenal. But if you want to, Welbeck, in my opinion, was a bad signing. How much did Arsenal pay for him?
For Welbeck?
Yeah, about 20
One
million,
sec.
wasn't it?
I will check. 16 million pounds. We signed him for 16 million pounds. Yeah.
He was a bad signing. But
Uh, yeah.
how long ago?
How long ago, as
How
in?
long ago?
Danny Welbeck, I'll tell you the time.
How long ago did? Yeah.
We signed him in 2014.
Well, so 16 million then back then was still quite a sum, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's like
You know,
20,
you weren't
25
having
million now.
100 millions. You're probably having. Yeah. I would have said so. What
Yeah,
other
the thing with
signings? What other signings? Go on.
no, I was saying the thing with Welbeck is he did a bit here and there, but he didn't do much at United. He didn't do much for us.
Yeah.
So if I got on a current Arsenal fan, probably he would be going on about how Willian is the worst signing ever, and Lacazette. These guys would go on and on.
I understand that.
But Dennis Suarez,
Oh,
Dennis
jeez.
Suarez will be there.
Surely it's
Dennis Suarez.
been some.
I think
I
Dennis
felt sorry
Suarez.
for Dennis Suarez, to be honest, because he's doing bits in Spain now. I think he's with Emery at Villarreal, isn't he?
And this guy Mavropanos, he's another failed signing. With respect to Arsenal, he's another failed
Socrates.
signing. Not that much. Socrates still played decent.
Socrates.
Dennis Suarez is at Celta Vigo. He's not at Villarreal.
Celta
I think,
Vigo. Yeah. I
yeah.
knew it.
As I was saying,
Yeah, no, but they. Yeah.
as I was saying that Dennis Suarez and Socrates still played. Mavropanos did not do shit. He's crap. He's absolutely crap. So
It
in that sense, yeah,
Well, it must be. Oh, I tell you. There's a
yeah,
guy. There's a guy who played for Villa. I tell you a little story about this guy now. Right.
yeah.
Mihailovic, I think his name was, right? Mihailovic. Because his
Okay.
nickname was Misalotovic, when they called him. Right? Sansa Mihailovic. He was right? basically,
Yeah.
is that you or me?
Go on, go on. My call. Yeah, my phone.
Basically, um, all right, okay. Basically, what happened was that watching players by video started to come in, right?
Yeah.
And Aston Villa thought they bought the brilliant Serbian
Yeah.
player, and they
Yeah.
spent a lot of money. If people are around my age in the chat or whatever, he used to wear a
Yeah.
headband, I think, and he played up front. They
Yeah.
spent a lot of money at that time, and
Yeah.
um, and he didn't. He couldn't score for Toffee. He could not score for Toffee, and you know. Sansa Mihailovic or something like that he was called, but they nicknamed him Misalotovic because he was just awful. And it also shows as well, uh,
Yeah.
especially it kind of like shows why clubs now are bringing in transfer kind of boards or transfer panels or something,
Yeah.
because back then a bad transfer would be on your around your shoulders because it would be the manager up to it. A lot of managers
Yeah.
never liked it, and I remember Harry Redknapp walking out
Yeah.
of walking out of Tottenham, was it? I think he walked out on one club because they wanted to put a transfer panel in because they knew just how dodgy Harry Redknapp was. But
Yeah.
a lot of it, I am convinced
Yeah.
that there's something in Williams' contract that he has to play a certain amount of games. I don't know what you think as an Arsenal fan.
No, I don't think so. There's nothing in his contract because he'll be dropped when Pepe returns. I think that is the case, unless he starts to perform. He performed well in the first game, so he's gotten a few more chances after that, and Adam has dropped out. So, as I was saying, maybe probably he's getting a call. So, as I was telling Adam, that it's nothing with respect to Williams' contract. He's been in and out of the team as well. He's been injured. He's quite an injury-prone player as well. So, I don't think they will put something like that in his contract because his fitness is already a problem. So, why would they put something in someone's contract when we know that he'll be in and out of the team, and there are more things that come into that picture as well. So overall, I think we discussed a few things. The City game, again, as I was talking about, was a good one, and Everton and Leeds have not scored a goal. Thought that this game would be, you can say, in a way bland, and it has turned out to be bland. And overall, as I was saying, that there are some big games coming up as well. And one of my worst signing of all time, if I have to think, from Arsenal, maybe if I'll give five names because I can't give one. One is Squillaci from the last decade. Again, Dennis Suarez will be another name. Apart from that, if I had to go, I think Sonogo was signed as well. So, so I think he will be my because worst signings, because if he had performed that season, I think we would have won the league. But he didn't do anything because he wasn't good enough. So Sonogo is another one. Apart from that, if I had to pick two more, Kim Kallstrom comes in the top five of all time, obviously, and he'll be there. So that is four. And I said Suarez, Kallstrom, Sonogo, Squillaci, and number five. A lot of people say Danielson, but I don't agree to that. Shamak. Can it be Shamak, or is there anyone else that I have in mind? Shamak, 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 Shamak. Who else? Who else can I think of? Licksteiner. I'm leaving Shamak out because he could at least do a few things. It didn't work out for him. He didn't fulfill our expectations, but that happens a lot of time at Arsenal. It's not just with Shamak, it's happened with a lot of other players. He looked very good when he was not at Arsenal. When he came to Arsenal, he didn't look that good. It's happened with other players as well. It's happened with Kolasinac as well. But I'm not going to put Kolasinac there as well because when he had his first season, he looked rather good. So I will go with Lick Steiner, who was done and dusted when he came to Arsenal. So these are from the last decade that I feel my five worst. If I want to add more, then obviously Kolasinac, Shamak, 6, 7. Okay, and three more. Debussy, I will add. Jenkinson, I will add 8, 9. I can Debussy. I'm a 50-50 because he got injured at the wrong time. But Jenkinson definitely. And apart from that, if I need, so I think I got done with 8. I need 2 more. I'm not going with Debussy. Let me keep Debussy as a backup if I can't think of anyone else. Let me think. 2 more first. If I don't get anyone, then I'll put Debussy in. 2 more. 2 more. Andre Santos. When was the guy? When was that guy signed for us? I'm thinking. Andre Santos. When did that player get signed? Yeah, 2011. So Andre Santos comes in, and one last name then, apart from Debussy. If Debussy is an honorable mention there, but if I have to go for one last name, mhm, mhm. Let me think. Midfielders. Who was an absolute failure in midfield? Song Diaby. No, 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 no. One last player. Goalkeeper wise, Ospina. Nah, nah, nah. Nah, 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 nah. Almunia was from back in the day, but he wasn't an absolute failure. One last name, if I had to think of an Arsenal player who has been absolute. I think Gervino. Can I put Gervino there? I am thinking. I'm just looking at the stats right now. He will be he will be my, if he is the worst player, he'll be my maybe my least worst, because out of 46 appearances he got 9 goals. Um and his finishing was his main problem. Or Iwobi could also be a name, but Iwobi I think is a bit higher there. So Gervino. Baptista, no, Baptista did his thing, but he couldn't really do his because he was fat, you can say in a way. Dennis Suarez. Let me see the current worst signings that I can think of in this squad. If in the last 2 to 3 years, any defender, Kolasinac. I did put Kolasinac in, right? Yeah, I think I put Kolasinac in. So Kolasinac is already there. Number 10. Number 10. Number 10. Number 10, number 10. Gibbs, no, Gibbs was fine in comparison. Mm, Jovino, and Adam is back. Adam, would you put Jovino in that top 10, or would you rather put Debussy?
Um, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Tell me.
Yeah, yeah, sorry, man. Hang on, I just have to put aftershave on to cover my body odor after changing that fucking tire. So hang on. I tell you what, who I would put in would
Yeah,
be Muta. Muta, was it Muta? Adrian Muta. He played for
at
he signed
Arsenal.
for Chelsea. He signed for Chelsea, right? And he was done for
Yeah,
drugs then. He was done for
yeah.
drugs. Um when Mourinho was in charge.
No,
Um
I'm looking for one Arsenal player. Adam, I'm looking for one Arsenal player.
oh, an
I have a
Arsenal
top
player.
10. I, I'll give you my names again. I'll give you more or less. They're not in any
Go,
particular order.
okay.
Okay, so Debussy is the doubtful one,
Yeah.
but forget him. Apart from that, Jenkinson, Santos, uh, whom did I get apart from that? Dennis Suarez, and I
But
needed to
he was a
write this
loan
down probably.
signing, wasn't he? He was a loan
Yeah, but it
signing.
all counts. It all counts. Kim Kilstrom, then Skulachi, and that makes it 5. Kolasinac. Apart from
You
that,
Francis Jeffers has got to be in there. Francis Jeffers has got to be in there.
from the last decade.
Oh, bloody hell. You see? Um,
Yeah. No, so Sanogo I counted, Shamak I counted. So and who else? I forgot some of the names. Wait, Dennis Forres, as I
I know, I
said.
know. They were so fucking bad. The names which are bad names may only
Yeah,
have played a couple of games and you never seen them again. But,
Mavropanos. I don't think I counted Mavropanos, so I count Mavropanos as my 10th player. The shit, the sheet centre back, Mavropanos.
but Arsenal have had some bad ones. I never rated Koscielny, if I'm honest with you. I never rated Murder when he was there. I never rated. Arsenal have had some real bad kind of like uh real bad
Real bad
kind
kind
of
of.
cover. You know, like I'm gonna like they kind of like what we would say in the UK is that you cover up the cracks with a bandage, you know, like a band-aid. You
Yeah,
know, if you get a cut on your finger, you put a band-aid around your finger. And
yeah,
Arsenal always seem to cover cracks within the centre back positions with
yeah,
band-aids. You know, cheap signings which would do okay for a year or two. But
yeah.
um um oh geez, there has been some there's I would say Walcott. I think Walcott was for, well, he done well at Arsenal then, or didn't he? He did score goals,
Yep,
but it's just
yep.
his all round. I value players on all round play. You see, I don't rather than statistics. I don't rate statistics at all. Um, what would you say, Lacazette? Lacazette, you know, with his goal return, he has to
Nah,
be up there, surely.
not at all. I think he no worse signing wins player of the season 1 year, and the fans voted for him.
How
No worse signing will ever do that.
how about Ozo? How about Ozo?
Nah, no, nah. He's just gone bad now. He wasn't that bad when he came in.
Oh, he's been bad for years. He's been bad. Well, okay, if you want to put technically, he's been
Yeah.
bad since he signed that £350,000 contract, which technically is a new signing.
Nah, not in that sense. You have to be a new player, like even if loan or free. Lichtsteiner was another addition in my list. So I think the only player that I didn't count was Mavropanos, I guess, initially. So that makes it a complete 10. So I
There
have
has to
named
be
my
some
10.
strikers. There has to be more strikers. There has to be more strikers. How about that Danish guy who said he was like fucking
No,
Pele? What was his
Bentner
name?
had good
Ben.
numbers. He had good numbers. That is the thing. The guys who don't have good numbers, like they're absolutely crap. Like these guys have not even done anything. Like Kelstrom and Dennis Suarez, whatever be the reason, when Dennis Suarez played, he didn't do anything, and then even Barca got rid of him. So trust me, maybe in the upcoming years, maybe we will call Danny Ceballos a dodgy signing as well, and Willian could be one of those as well. But right now, I think they still have time to prove themselves, and we can't just keep giving the verdict right now for these guys. If they don't improve, then that is
How about
that.
David
But right now, I
Luiz?
think nah.
David Luiz.
He's contributed well. He's contributed well. He's a good leader.
He's cost
He's done
points
this.
though, Nitish.
With respect to, if you
How
have to
about some
compare,
goalkeepers? Fabianski,
I don't.
and all them crap.
Fabianski was okay for us. He wasn't that bad for us. The other goalkeeper that you mentioned probably would have been worse than him. I think even Ospina to an extent was worse than Fabianski for us.
Yeah. That
Almunia
one
is
that
not
went
from
on
this
to
decade.
Juventus. That goalkeeper.
Chesney, no, not at all.
That goalkeeper
Definitely
went on
not.
to Juventus.
Chesney, no, not at all. I am saying that Almunia, if he was from this decade, a signing, I think he would have been one of the worst signings that we had as a goalkeeper. Even worse than Fabianski to an extent.
I got you.
But one last verdict before
I
we
got you.
wrap up the stream now. Everton and Leeds are still goalless. They're not going seem like they don't seem like they'll be scoring a goal. And we had a decent conversation. It's reached an hour mark, and I need to get back to work. And Adam, I'll see you soon. I'll have
Yeah,
more conversations with you.
Nitesh,
Yeah, yeah,
Nitesh, can I just
yeah.
apologise for my situation when you rang me? I know I did try my best, but honestly, I will send you the retire now. I'll send you retire the photo of retire on WhatsApp. I do apologise. I know I
No,
may only have been like in it partly, but it really was. If you say you see the receipt on the tire now, and
no, that's fine. The thing was, I was supposed to
because
do
it's
this. Sorry. No, I was
really
supposed to do this as a.
sincerely apology.
No worries. I apologize as well. I was supposed to do this as a city watch along, but unfortunately, my sleeping cycle is so fucked that I ended up sleeping again. Like I slept in three parts today because of the work calls that I was getting. So, anyways, what's done is done now.
Yeah.
This was a decent stream, and thank you for everyone for coming in the chat as well. And big up to you as well, Adam, for joining me like at such short notice. Can you just give a shout out to your channel because you have that new intro in now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's football with Brownie. I'm back on Twitter, but you know what? I can't remember my Twitter name. You can shout that out there,
It's
Nitesh.
football brownie,
And
football
I've
brownie.
started a new page on Facebook. Yeah, but it's not without the e on the end. It's a one. I think something like that.
I'll just say it. I'll
And
just
I
tell
got a
you.
football with Brownie Facebook page set up again
It's football brownie continuously,
because
or you
Twitter.
can find hashtag at football brownie BROWNI 1.
Yeah, something like some nonsense like that because of Twitter. But
Yeah,
I'm finally back on, so I made a promise to myself. This shit. I made a promise to myself. No, no online arguments with Lee Gunner with this one.
well, I'll just say that I hope that you have fun. It's the weekend, enjoy yourself, and we'll be back tomorrow with another discussion. Now, tomorrow I can do one more show. We'll have a good debate tomorrow, and I'll get in Sam and some of the other guys as well. So, guys in the chat, do tune in tomorrow as well. I'll just put up the stream
Yeah,
soon.
but
Yeah, sorry.
did you see the Sorry, Nitesh. Did you see the information I sent you on WhatsApp regarding previous famous managers, which took a bit of time to get success, I suppose.
Yeah, I saw some of those, and that is what I was saying that we'll have a discussion and a debate tomorrow. And I would request everyone in the chat and you as well, Adam, to join in. And if you can come on the panel as well, we can fix that up. And I will see you guys soon. You can follow me on Beyond the
Yeah.
Post on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The Twitter link is in the description. And you can also follow the Arsenal FC fans page. So big up to you guys. Be home and be safe. Bye. And